Welcome back, fellow Marvel Legends collectors. Solid Dave Snake here, bringing you one last review from the X-Men Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Juggernaut series. Before we actually build that Build-A-Figure and show off one of my favorites from this series, and that is Cable. And this is a newer version of Cable from the comics. Normally I would have said I'd preferred an older Rob Liefeld Cable, but just last year we got an awesome first appearance Cable from Marvel Select. So if you're wanting a good figure from that first appearance look, that Rob Liefeld look with the big shoulder pads and loaded up with the oversized guns, check out that Marvel Select version. But this is actually one of the better figures from this series. A very bulky figure. Actually, before I show off his accessory, let me just show you how big he is compared to a normal sized figure in this series. Pull up Havoc since he's off that Bucky Cap mold, which is kind of a base hero character mold in these Marvel Legends. If you're basing that off a 6-foot male, then this is a great representation with Cable's height here, coming in around almost 7 inches, so about 7 feet. So pretty good height-wise there to all the other X-Men characters. And he comes with some nice accessories. Of course, he comes with a Juggernaut Build-A-Figure piece, and it is the lower torso. And he comes with 2 very fitting weapons. Since Cable uses a lot of firearms, and since he's from the future, he has more futuristic looking rifles and pistols. So this is a good representation. However, no paint detail whatsoever on these accessories. Just the base tone of the plastic. So I'm sure customizers will have fun repainting some of these weapons in this series. Came with Cable and Deadpool. And the other is a little bit of a longer rifle. And it's the same base color to that plastic. However, this does have one nice feature. It has bullets that get fed in the back of the stock. Which is kind of weird because it looks like there's a clip here. So I don't know if this is a 2-in-1 gun or what's going on with it. But that is neat that you can take those in and out. Both sides are a little different to this gun. So, pretty neat once you actually paint it. And now let's get Cable up here himself. And like I said, he is a little more of a massive action figure than some of the other figures in this series. And has really great detail overall. One of the better Cable head sculpts. Of course, Toy Biz did Cable back in the day, back in Series 6, those early Toy Biz Marvel Legends. And I'd have to say that this Cable's head sculpt is a lot better than that series. And great job with the paint overall. The white hair came out really nice. Looks a little more gray down here, so they got some paint variation. His scars turned out good. That right eye was painted in there really nice. Even the eyebrow. The spots with the scar running through it are in there perfect. And, of course, the bioorganic side of his face is very nicely sculpted and detailed. One of the better head sculpts in this series. They just really did a great job with about every figure's head sculpt in this series. I'm very pleased with it. And his body armor is very unique. I know they used some parts off the Nuke figure for his body, but there's so much extra stuff with the armor and belts. Of course, his bio arm that you can't really tell he uses anything from an older figure. And I love all the bullet holes in this armor. There's damage detail all throughout this, even on the back. Even more bullet holes. And very faithful to the original design from the comic book. Has a ton of pouches back here on his belt. And this belt is a separate loose piece. And has this extra end coming down his right side, this extra strap. And I'll show off the detail on his bare arm. He's got this X tattoo up here, gloved hand, a little bit of weird plastic here on mine, extra plastic. That won't be on all of them though. And then the bioorganic arm turned out really good. I like the darker tones throughout the lines. They did a great job with that. And he does have the same glove on this hand, however with the fingers being that bioorganic metal. And his legs are pretty big. Got a lot of pouches on both sides. The shin guard's down below here with more battle damage. Would have been nice to get some paint variation in that battle damage, but I can't really complain. This is overall great sculpt on this figure. Just a lot of detail in the pants with the wrinkles and folds, with the straps going everywhere. I even like how the boots came out. Very nice Marvel Legend action figure, sculpt and paint wise. And his articulation is limited in some spots, but overall really good. His head is on a ball joint and a hinge, which you can rotate all the way around and get only about that far back, but actually pretty far down. You can get him looking all the way inside the armor, but not really too much head tilt. And his shoulders are on a ball joint and a hinge, which will go up to 90 degrees, rotate all the way around. Bicep cuts on both arms, double jointed elbows, which will go very far up and back straight. And his hands will rotate and hinge that far up and that far back, a little restricted from the metal plate there on his glove. And he does have a bit of an ab crunch. We'll only go this far forward and this far back, and you can get some tilt there in rotation. So that's actually pretty good because he does have the swivel at the waist as well. But since that belt's there, you can utilize this a little more. And he will kick out at the hips this far, kick really high up and a little backwards. And he does have a cut here at the upper thigh on both sides, not restricted. Double jointed knees. And he does have the hinge on the foot, which will go this far back, only this far forward because of the armor. And he does have the ankle pivot, which you can still utilize pretty good, even though that armor's there. So overall, for a bulkier figure with armor, his articulation is still really good. So overall, I'd say this is a must pick up out of this series. I think it's one of the better figures, bulkier figures, very well sculpted, very well painted. So excellent job from Hasbro, and just another great action figure in an amazing set. Probably my personal favorite set of Marvel Legends that has been released in years. So, alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed the review, and stay tuned because I'm going to be snapping together Juggernaut, and we'll take a look at him in the next video. So I'll catch you then.